Each year, the Earth reminds us of its relentless power. Devastating earthquakes, destructive hurricanes, overwhelming tsunamis. When nature awakens, nothing can stop it. Today, you will see some shocking natural disasters that have been recorded. Get ready to witness the awesome power of nature and its consequences. The wind picks up suddenly. Chairs are lifted and tossed like feathers. Within seconds, the tornado takes over, showing its full fury. At first, everything looks normal, a regular basketball court. But within seconds, chaos strikes. A powerful hurricane rips through, tearing off the roof and smashing the walls. The unstoppable force of nature turns this place into ruins in an instant. A tall building stands strong, untouched by any danger. But suddenly, the ground starts shaking. The earthquake strikes with unstoppable force. Walls crumble. The structure is collapsing. In just seconds, the mighty building is reduced to rubble. Nature's power is unstoppable. The door is closed. But the tsunami will not stop. The water forces its way inward, rushing with unstoppable force. The hurricane sweeps through, tearing trees from the ground, tossing cars and shattering windows with brutal power as it invades everything in its path. Inside the cantina, chaos erupts as trash cans and tables are hurled across the room, and windows explode from the force of the raging winds. As the ground trembles violently, a powerful earthquake strikes China. Inside the train, passengers grip tightly to their seats, struggling to keep their balance as the train sways dangerously, teetering on the edge of disaster. As a volcano erupts violently in Chile, school children in uniform are seen running for safety. People on motorcycles speed away, fleeing the imminent danger. Those still at school watch in shock as the thick smoke billows towards them, a harbinger of the chaos unfolding. As a man records the fury of a hurricane from outside his coastal home, the wind suddenly intensifies. A tree crashes down in front of him, narrowly missing the balcony and almost hitting him. During an intense earthquake, the mosaic pavement starts to buckle and rise. The distinctive patterns of the Portuguese sidewalks warp and twist as the ground beneath them shakes violently. A man steps outside his home, sensing something unusual in the air. Suddenly, a powerful tornado wind sweeps through, carrying everything in its path. He runs back inside, narrowly escaping the storm. Trees and debris fly past as he shuts the door, safe from the chaos outside. A man films from his home balcony as a nearby hurricane unleashes powerful winds. Trees sway violently in the gusts. Suddenly, a tree crashes onto the balcony, narrowly missing the house. He records in shock as the intense storm causes more destruction, leaving debris scattered everywhere. During a powerful earthquake, buildings, scaffolding, and trees sway violently. The ground shakes intensely, causing structures to tremble and trees to move back and forth. The scene is filled with motion as everything around reacts to the quake. During a severe flood, water carries away furniture like cabinets and more. Men wade through the floodwater, navigating the powerful current as the water sweeps away everything in its path. Hailstones fall heavily on the city, bouncing off rooftops and streets. The storm grows more intense, and the hail continues to pelt down. Ice accumulates, creating a dramatic scene in the city. A man films from his balcony as a hurricane wreaks havoc, uprooting trees and causing widespread destruction. The powerful winds sweep through, leaving a trail of devastation. The man captures the intense scene as debris flies by, narrowly missing his home. As a hurricane approaches the city, powerful winds sweep through, tossing objects around. People scramble to get to safety, running to their cars amidst the chaos. The storm's fury is evident as debris flies and trees bend under the force. A boy films from his home balcony as thick smoke billows from a massive fire nearby. The dark clouds of smoke rise high into the sky, casting a shadow over the area. He captures the intense scene, watching as the fire continues to rage in the distance.
There's bushfires all.
A man records as strong winds from a nearby tornado violently shake the bushes in a city. The powerful gusts sweep through, bending the foliage and creating a dramatic scene. A powerful tornado wind sweeps through the city, causing chaos. Men run for cover, while a woman, clutching a baby, sprints to a shelter. The strong gusts nearly carry them away, but they make it to safety just in time. People struggle against the powerful winds, trying not to be swept away. They lean back against the gusts, using their body weight to resist. The wind is relentless, and they fight to stay grounded as the storm's force intensifies, making every step a challenge. Hailstones fall in the desert, striking the camels. The ice pelts the ground, creating an unusual and dramatic scene in the arid landscape. The hail melts, mixing with the hot desert ground, forming a muddy landscape. Water spreads, creating an unusual sight in the desert. A powerful hurricane wind shakes a tree violently as he records from his backyard. The strong gusts nearly lift a trampoline and a basketball hoop off the ground. The wind whips through the yard, causing leaves to scatter and making the entire scene chaotic and intense. Floodwaters rush through streets, pressing against trees and nearly uprooting them. The current slams into houses, shaking walls and tearing fences. Rising water turns the area into a chaotic river, leaving destruction in its path. Hailstones crash onto the roof, pounding with sharp, heavy thuds. Icy rocks shatter and scatter across the tiles as the storm intensifies, echoing louder with each strike. Dark clouds gather as strong winds whip through the streets. The man films the approaching storm from outside a store. Minutes later, from inside, he captures the heavy rain pounding against the windows, the rhythmic sound of water filling the air as the storm intensifies. A man films as a tornado touches the ocean, forming a swirling waterspout. The column of air and water twists under dark clouds while strong winds whip around. The rare sight captures nature's power in motion. After the hurricane, the city is left underwater. Floodwaters rush through the streets, nearly sweeping cars away. In the video, a trash bin floats by, carried effortlessly by the strong current, showcasing the scale of the disaster. Heavy rain floods the streets, rushing through buildings and filling alleys. The water rises quickly, covering sidewalks and submerging parts of the road. Between the buildings, the strong current moves steadily, carrying debris as the area becomes overwhelmed. Floodwaters sweep a car away with a man trapped inside. The vehicle is dragged by the strong current and soon disappears under murky water. Moments later, the car resurfaces, bobbing unsteadily. The man quickly climbs out through the window and leaps into the rushing flood. Driving on a quiet road, they spot a storm ahead. In moments, it hits, with rain and wind pounding the car. Inside, fear takes over as the storm rages around them.
Holy f***, bro.
A tornado forms near a house as a resident films dangerously close. The massive funnel twists violently, pulling debris into its core. Winds roar as trees sway and objects scatter, capturing the intense and chaotic scene just steps away. Floodwaters cover the road, forming a still expanse. A truck driver cautiously drives into the water, attempting to cross. Moments later, the vehicle is swept away by a sudden strong current, floating unsteadily as the flood pulls it further down the road. A powerful hurricane sweeps through the streets, scattering debris and tossing objects into the air. The roaring winds overturn trash bins and snap signs. A small Mexican food truck struggles against the force before being toppled, landing on its side in the chaos. Powerful hurricane winds roar through the area, throwing debris and bending trees. As the storm intensifies, one large tree gives way with a loud crack and crashes to the ground, while the others continue to sway.